Good morning. On today's episode, I would like to show you how to make some delicious homemade yogurt. Here are my ingredients. I use sugar, vanilla essence, and in this case, the Festival brand. As you can see, I also buy some 500 grams of yogurt, and I love the Ilara strawberry yogurt. Apart from that, you buy 5 liters of milk from your local supplier. Just make sure that it is good milk. In my case, I buy from a processing plant, and then I have this thing that I call an open sieve. You will use this little gadget, once all the ingredients are ready. So what you do, you boil the 5 liters of milk. Make sure it boils to the max. Once it boils, let it cool down and make sure it cools down to being warm. It's neither hot nor cold, such that you can touch that pot. So just that cooling to that extent of that it cannot burn. Okay. Once the milk is warm, you will now pour all your ingredients into this 5-liter jerry can. Just make sure that it's clean by this time. You've already cleaned it because it had the original milk. So the next thing you do, once all your ingredients are ready, you are supposed to put them into this jerry can using the open sieve. The reason you use the open sieve is because it would take forever to just pour yogurt into that jerry can. That is why I encourage you to use that little open sieve up there. So let's unbox. Let's unbox the yogurt. Let's open the yogurt because we need to pour it into the 5-liter jerry can where we get to mix all our ingredients. And by the way, remember, I do this in the evening and then leave the yogurt overnight, okay? So that by the time I wake up in the morning, the yogurt is ready. Or you can do this in the morning and then come back in the evening and then get to check how your yogurt is doing, okay? So now we get to pour this yogurt into our jerry can. Just make sure you empty the 500 grams into it because 500 grams goes well with 5 liters of milk. As you're already aware that our 5 liters of milk is cooling down. So we pour all the yogurt into our jerry can. So just make sure everything goes in there. And then we have a tradition in Africa whereby you do not ask someone what they're going to do with that with that container for the yogurt. So I leave that to my brothers and sisters to decide. Yeah, we don't just throw it away. Next, you get to use your vanilla essence. So you pour three cups or three what do you call it? Some call it a cup, a cover, whatever name you give that. Just do 3 of those. The vanilla essence cap. CAP. Okay. Then once you do 3 of those into that, vanilla essence gives it just that nice taste. Okay. And then now you add the sugar. There are people who do not do sugar at all, so this is not a prerequisite. You don't have to use sugar while making your yogurt because you may want it natural. So this is your choice, but you find that when you have little kids in the house, you just want it a little bit sweet. it takes a lot of sugar, but for me, I choose to use just about 4 teaspoonfuls, which is close to half of that little container that I just added. So now we get to put all our ingredients into that jerry can. Next, our cool or warm milk. Something that you need to note is that cream is not allowed into our yogurt. Okay, so make sure you sieve the milk, because once the milk has boiled, it just naturally forms a very thick cream, but that cream is not allowed into our yogurt making process. So you have to make sure that you sieve it, and that the milk that goes in there is just cream free. It has no cream at all. So that is the reason you have to sieve your milk. Okay. And also, when you buy milk, it may have other, extra, you just know the process of buying milk and all that. Just make sure that you sieve it so that our yogurt has just nice cream-free milk. And as you can see, that's our 5 liters of ingredients ready to make our yogurt. I decided to cut a little piece of paper from my serviette so that I would use it to cover, because these ingredients must be tightly covered and must be warm enough the whole night. So to make sure that this jerry can is warm, you wrap it with a warm woolen blankie. You can buy a clean one only for the purpose of making your yogurt, because you can't go onto your bed and get a blanket and use it. So just have a special one for yogurt making, and then put it into that nylon bag, because it needs to be airtight, and again it needs to be warm throughout the night. So I call it my mini oven. And once it has gone through the night, and you don't just place it on the floor, you can place it on a place that is warm. That can even be on a couch. This is Africa. We don't have to complicate things. You can place it on the couch. Just don't go to bed with it. Just make sure that it's in a warm place. You don't place this thing on the floor. As you can see in the morning, we can already tell that our nice little oven was warm enough throughout the night. And even as you touch this jerry can in the morning, it's still somehow warm. But now our yogurt is ready. As you can see, it has already separated. You can tell the milk is already well cultured, and it's ready. Our yogurt is ready. So now you have to mix it up. Just mix it up so that all the ingredients and all the thickness is standard throughout the whole jerry can. So what I do next is I have these nice little containers that I use to store the yogurt in the fridge. You can just store it as the 5-liter jerry can thing, but as for me, I like to subdivide it right from the word go, so that whenever someone needs to drink some yogurt, they can just take that one little container and pour that into a glass. Okay, so that's how I love doing it. You can do it your own way, but for me, that is my best way of doing it. And as you can see, our yogurt is ready. Delicious homemade yogurt. So that is how I make my yogurt. Now the next thing is to cover it up and place it in the fridge. And there's something that cooling yogurt, there's a way that the fridge, makes yogurt very good and very thick. So Just make sure you've placed it in the fridge. Days away, it just becomes way much better when it is extra cool than when it is just at room temperature. So that is how I make my delicious homemade yogurt, and I promise you it tastes so good. I don't know if it's because it's the natural milk that I use. Okay, I know all yogurts use natural milk, but this homemade one just has a very nice taste. And as you can see, our yogurt is ready to consume. Give it a try, and then you can comment down below and let me know how yours turned out. Remember, if you've been thinking of starting a business, you can do a yogurt business, and this is how you make it. And you can sell your yogurt, your delicious homemade yogurt. You can make some bucks out of it. Thank you for watching. Always glad that you're following. Enjoy your yogurt.